Okay. Hello, dear friends. Good evening. Such a beautiful, beautiful evening. Nighttime story time. So, yesterday we talked about Zeus. Zeus took the throne on Mount Olympus, and he became God of all gods, and he could do whatever he likes. So he married his blood sister, Hera. He married his sister Hera, and together they had many children, including Ares, the god of war. They had many children, but their marriage was always bumpy. And throughout all the story I am telling you, you will know that Zeus was kind of a bad guy in terms of relationship. He had many times betrayal, and Hera is kind of a jealous woman, and punish the one that had been fell in relationship with Zeus. Anyway, complicated story. So today we are going to talk about Apollo and Artemis. And it's another interesting story, right? So, however, even though Zeus was married to Hera, he continued to fall in love with other goddesses and mortal women. And he fathered many more children. You know, sometimes I think Zeus really kind of had no taste, no judgment in terms of choosing whoever he fell in love. And he just too easy, not good. So some of these children were born as gods, and this made Hera extremely jealous. Of course, if your husband betray you, what can you do, right? At least you are jealous and you are angry, right? So Hera was very angry, and in her anger, Hera often punished the women Zeus loved, whoever they were. Kind of losing judgment, right? Which is pretty true. When women became jealous, they lost their judgment. And not only women, right? Even if a man, if your wife betray you, you lost your temper, you lost you just get lost, right? You get lost. Leto was goddess of motherhood, and Zeus thought she was very beautiful. Leto, that's a good name. This Leto is not Jared Leto. It's not 30 seconds to Mars. Okay? Just make a difference. Yeah. This Leto, she was very beautiful. Or at least Zeus thought she was very beautiful. They fell in love. And Leto got pregnant with twins. When Hera discovered Leto was pregnant, she was furious. Terrified of what Hera might do, Leto fled and tried to hide, to find a new home where Hera would not find her. No one would take her in, however, out of fear of Hera, because Hera was the queen of the universe, of all gods, so everyone was afraid of her. And the only place that Leto was able to find safety was the floating island of Delos. The island had never settled in one place. Floating island, what do you talk about, right? Floating island was floating. It never settled in one place. Instead, it drifted over the blue waves of the Aegean Sea. Aegean Sea, such beautiful place. I still remember a few years ago we went to Greece, and on top of the mountain and see the Aegean Sea. Oh, the blue, silver shining blue waves, glitters, unbelievably beautiful. When Leto set foot on Delos, the island stood still. Magic. Whenever Leto set foot there, this floating island stopped. 4 huge columns appeared that anchored it into the seabed. Ooh. There, Leto gave birth first to a daughter, whom she named Artemis. For 9 long days, Leto struggled to give birth to her second child. Usually, the twins are within 1 day, right? 1 day later, the second come out, and some are even seconds apart. I have never heard that someone suffered 9 days. Suffering for 9 days for giving a birth. Oh, that hurts me. But luckily, it's mythology. It may not be true. It reduced a little bit of my pain. Yeah. So 9 days later, she gave birth to the second child. In the end, Artemis, who had grown quickly, helped her mother deliver the baby, named Apollo. Can you believe 9 days old baby Artemis is already growing up and helped mother to give birth to her brother? Oh my goodness, 9-day-old midwife, quite magical. So both Artemis and Apollo were gods. Artemis became the goddess of hunting, so she always had a sword, bow and arrow. And Apollo, the god of music. So sometimes you see Apollo with a lyre. And eventually, Hera forgot her anger towards Leto, and they all went to live on Mount Olympus. Okay. Time has passed. We just have to carry on to live on our life, right? So that's the story of Apollo and Artemis. Now here comes the birth of Athena. Metis, the goddess of advice, had helped Zeus free his siblings from the stomach of his father Kronos. She was also very beautiful, and Zeus had fallen in love with her. Oh my goodness. That's the person you need to respect. You should not do that. There is a level of respect, right? Something that you need to. Anyway, Metis, however, did not feel the same way about Zeus. You little baby, don't do that. I do not feel that. She tried to avoid him by transforming into various different animals. First, a bird, then a lion, then a deer, and so on. She just kept transforming. Zeus eventually caught up with her when she was in her human form. However, soon Metis became pregnant. Meanwhile, Gaia, goddess of the earth, the beginning of everything, right, had made a prophecy that any son born to Metis would one day overthrow Zeus, just as he had overthrown Kronos before him. This prophecy worried Zeus. Inspired by his father, Zeus decided to swallow Metis whole, to swallow this beautiful woman that once had saved her, advised her. The more I read about Greek mythology, the more I feel about Zeus, along with their unborn baby. This way, Zeus thought smirkily. Gaia's prophecy can't possibly come true. 9 months later, however, Zeus was struck by a headache, so strong that it felt as if the Cyclops themselves were hammering at his skull. Unsure of what to do, Zeus went to the Titan Prometheus, who had a reputation for being smart. Just a few words about Prometheus. Metheus means think. Prometheus means pre-think, think in advance. Prometheus. And there is Prometheus and Artemis. After is, I forgot. Okay, Prometheus' brother was some other Metheus. Please help me, Prometheus, Zeus begged. I cannot stand this pain. Prometheus realized something was going on, and he just thought. He shook his head. He immediately knew what was going on. He fetched a heavy metal axe. Without warning, Prometheus smacked Zeus across the forehead with the axe. Pew! He just used the axe, cut Zeus. Although the blow did not kill Zeus, for he was immortal. Whichever way, you just cannot kill him. He was immortal. A crack opened in his head, and out burst outburst the goddess Athena. She was already grown and dressed in full armor. In Greece, there was a temple of Athena with her full body. I mean, the full golden sculpture of her. And I think somewhere in the United States, they made a replica of, is that in Tennessee or somewhere, a replica of the Athena temple. Now it's an art museum. I want to go there. I need to search online to find the Athena temple. It's the museum of that state. Okay, so the Athena just burst out of Zeus' head. She was already grown and dressed in full armor. Athena was the child that Metis had been carrying all along. Zeus was relieved to see that she was a woman. Zeus was thinking, oh, if I have a son, then this son will kill me and will revenge. And Athena was and Zeus was quite relieved. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It's a girl. Yeah, it's a girl. Zeus was relieved to see that she was a woman and not the son, Gaia said. Gaia has once said that would overthrow him. In fact, from that day on, Athena was always her father's favorite. Yeah, Athena was the favorite child. Because he saw himself as giving birth to her alone, because his head was cut open and the baby burst out. She chose to ignore the small detail that he had swallowed her mother. So he forgot, oh, why do I give birth? Because I swallowed her pregnant mother. And this is the baby out of the stomach of my wife, or out of the woman in my stomach. Oh my. So that's the birth of Athena. Tomorrow I will talk about another story. I love you. I really do. Do. 咕咕拜呀拜，see ya later.